Welcome back, everyone. The Pew Research Center says about 5% of young adults in the United States say their gender is different from their sex assigned at birth.
Cassidy is a licensed therapist with Purple Sky Counseling to talk about how we as parents, but also anyone, can accept our LGBTQ youth when they do come out. Cassidy, welcome.
Hi, welcome.
I am so happy that we're having this very important conversation.
Absolutely. It's a conversation we need to have year-round.
Yes, all the time. What is the biggest way that we can start to show our support for a teen or a youth when they come out to us?
The first thing you do is you just trust them and believe them, and you don't challenge them. So you just step back and you listen. Truly what you do is you just start to listen. And you let them tell you where they are and what they're learning about themselves, and then you ask them what they need. And when they tell you what they need, you do your best to do that.
And it's not that parents struggle with this too, right? There can be some anxiety of knowing and listening, but listening is key and number one.
Yeah, listening is key, is number one. So a lot of us as parents and grandparents and like different generations, we've been taught different things about gender and sexuality. And a lot of our teens and adults now are either learning new things about themselves or they have access to more ways outside of the binary. And so really learning and listening to how somebody wants to present themselves is allowing them to be their true self, which is what we want as parents.
Sure. I love that you say, regardless of what you do believe, supporting the person that is sharing this with you is more important. Be respectful of pronouns and names. Don't call it a sin or a phase.
Yes, yes, absolutely. You always want to lean into supporting them first, right? You don't want to use any shaming language. You don't want to deny any parts of who they are. And you really want to be able to say things like, thank you for trusting me with this information, right?
That is truly important. And the next step, is it something that you approach your child, your teen, to say, should we go to therapy? Should we seek other support?
Yeah, sometimes. So some humans, some teens, some adults need support to kind of go through the coming out process. Some parents and caregivers need support to learn how to support and say things and show up in a way that really helps your things. But really, the first thing you do is you ask is, how can I support you? Do you want to go to therapy? Do you want something different? And listening to what they have to say.
Up on the screen just a minute ago, we were seeing some of the things that you can say, and they're so beautifully worded. Let's put that back up and talk further. Cassidy, what do you suggest we say exactly?
Honestly, I think you just start with, thank you for trusting me enough to share that with me. It's really difficult sometimes for people to share that with you, and so we want to honor that they trust you. And then you just ask, I want to know what you need, not what I think you need. So I'm going to ask you what you need for support. And sometimes you even have to say, I have no idea what that means, right? If you don't understand the terminology of transgender or non-binary or pansexual, for instance, right? Say, I'm going to learn more about that. I'm not going to ask you to teach me, but I'm going to go and do my own research and learn that myself so that I can support you.
Oh, I love that one too.
And when I see all those responses, it's really truly taking yourself, the parent, out of it and really focusing on the child and taking maybe your ego or your anxiety out and non-judgmental.
Yes, so often what happens if you don't do that, what happens is you cause a wound or a rupture between you and your child that sometimes is not fixable, and no parent wants that. So learning how to actually step out of the situation, support your child here, but then actually deal with your own learning and your own emotional state around it is something you do outside of your relationship with your child.
I love that the bottom line is support, acceptance, love, and maintaining that trust. It's so important to do those things because of the statistics. Talk about those.
Yeah, so some of the high rates of suicidality and anxiety and depression are going up in teens right now, right? And one of the most impacted groups of that is the LGBTQIA youth. And when you show up and you use somebody's pronouns, the ones that they want you to use, or you call them by their name, or you respect their sexuality, their suicidality rates drop automatically by 50%. So, and that's truly just one adult, one trusted adult that does that for them will drop that in there for them. It's life-changing.
Wow.
Life-saving, really.
Life-saving. And what I was going to say, statistics can be out there, but you are in the trenches right now.
We are,
And I'm sure you see the difference between a family who supports and listens versus ones that do not, and that can save a life or not.
Absolutely, and it saves lives all the time, and we don't even realize it when we can show up and do that for somebody. When you don't do that, it causes long-term traumatic experiences for your children, adult or child. Like if somebody comes out as a 40-year-old, as somewhere in the queer community, they can still experience this too if their family still doesn't support them. Yeah. So it really is for everybody.
An ongoing conversation, and if you are struggling or have a youth in your life who is, or you're a parent who is, come to Purple Sky and get some one-on-one counseling or maybe even group counseling. Where do we find you, Cassidy?
Yeah, we're at purpleskycounseling.com, and you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Purple Sky Counseling. And we actually have a group specifically for parents of transgender and gender nonconforming youth right now, so parents can figure out what's going on for them.
Having that safe space is so vital in these types of situations. So
Absolutely.
Cassidy, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.